Ms. Sapp, we are now live streaming. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for the District Library Book Objection Committee meeting. The purpose of today's meeting is to review an objection to the book titled l8r by Laura Miracle. My name is Dawn Sapp. I'm Associate Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, and I'll be facilitating today's committee meeting. School-based and district staff, as well as parent and community volunteers, are invited to participate on each committee. Today's meeting will result in a recommendation that will be forwarded to Mr. Forson, St. Johns County School District Superintendent. This committee meeting is public record and therefore subject to sunshine law. It is being live streamed for public viewing. Committee members are not required to have their camera on during the meeting. We are committed to civility and decorum. Please assist us in maintaining a constructive meeting environment by remaining respectful of each participant during the meeting and afterwards. Additional discussion of the objecting party or committee members outside of the meeting is discouraged. Disparaging comments are contrary to district expectations regarding character and civility. Committee members received several resources in advance of the meeting. The resources included the objecting party's request for reconsideration, a copy of the book, Florida statutes, Florida Department of Education guidance for library media services, professional source reviews, St. Johns County School Board rules, the Library Bill of Rights, and a school library media materials evaluation checklist. The process for today is as follows. First, the objecting party will have the opportunity to address the committee. They will provide any information they deem compelling or new regarding their request. Next, the committee will have a discussion utilizing the school library media material evaluation checklist. Finally, the committee will determine a recommendation for Superintendent Forson. There are two options: retain the book for a designated level or remove the book from all St. Johns County School District libraries. For our meeting today, both agreeable and opposing viewpoints are welcome. Are there any questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll begin. Jean Moore is the objecting party for l8r. Ms. Moore, this is your time to address the committee. You have up to 5 minutes to share your objection.
Good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity for me to share my thoughts. My objections to this book are that it contains references to sexual activities, sexual nudity, profanity, and alcohol use by minors. In the version of the book that I read, it contains some Q&A with the author at the end of the book. The very first question to the author was, why were your books banned, and do you personally think they should have been? Before I get into the answer she gave, what a dumb question. No one is banning books, and no author is going to say, yeah, remove my books from schools because they are inappropriate. Anyway, the answer she provided was, quote, lots of my books have teen girls in them. Teen girls sometimes talk about sex. Teen girls sometimes have sex. Lots of grown-ups would like to believe it's not true. I'm not one of those grown-ups. And I think it's important and meaningful to give readers stories that reflect reality in a respectful way, end quote. She's not wrong in what she says. Kids can and do have sex whether we as parents want them to or not. The problem I have is with the graphic commentary and the praising the characters give each other for having sex. Not only that, the characters talking about sex is a primary theme in the story. Here are some of my favorite excerpts other than those that provide in the objection. So what's up with you? I'm kind of wired. I just gave Doug his very first blowjob. Falls backward out of the computer chair. What? It was a going away present since I won't see him for a week. I feel so proud of myself. Well, for sure. You can add that list right up there with your other accomplishments, straight A's, honor council, and giving head. It wasn't all that fun for me, but I think he really liked it and it made him happy. But my jaw got really tired. So, spit or swallow? I swallowed, but I don't think I'm going to next time. I'll just tell him very politely so he's not offended. What about plain old sex? If you're embarrassed to have him go down on you, won't you be embarrassed to have sex? That's different, but maybe. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, which I guess will be soon because pill-wise, I'm 1 day away from being safe. Can you believe it? But I leave for Tennessee tomorrow, so there goes that good timing, which means you'll have more time to get ready. Exactly. Well, I guess it's good that they're at least practicing safe sex. Ugh, can we talk about something else? Like this, our very own Zoe is going to have her cherry pop tonight. Has the cherry popping commenced? Maddie, no, but we're at the hotel. Unless Doug has other plans, I don't really care, just as long as we don't end up at some hotel afterward having sex. I'm not going to be that girl. Or, well, aren't you that girl already? That was different. Our first time isn't going to be in a post prom hotel with 3 other couples and everyone except me drunk on cheap champagne. And to make sure I have a plan, which is I told Doug that I want to spend time the night before prom with just him. He's got the key to his church's basement. So I'm going to suggest we go there. It's not perfect, but it's better than the prom night insanity. Very nice. And I think it is perfect that you're going to lose your maidenhood in the house of the Lord. You'll be like a nun. No, it'll be the opposite of a nun. Anti-nun. Yeah, anti-nun. At least he really loves you, Zoe. At least he wasn't humping the first available female just to get his cheap thrills. At least he's not a total asshole fuckwad. I was in a fog. I said something like, why? He's allowed to go out with other girls if he wants. Other whore sluts, you mean? Let me guess. Jana was a very sympathetic listener. So sympathetic that she led him to an empty bedroom so that they could be alone and they slept together. As Maddie would say, he squeezed it in her. And who knows how many times they've had sex since then. Now do you understand why I'm such a mess? That lying, scheming, skanky bitch. Yeah, you non-version. We're dying for details. Well, it was wonderful night. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But actually, I'm still a virgin. Pardon? We didn't make it to completion. Well, he did, but it was before, he squeezed it in you. Maddie, after all, he was all, crap. Zoe, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, nice way to blow your wad, Doug. Ooh, Doug and Zoe must be going at it in the church basement by now. Think he's going to blow his wad again prematurely, I mean? Hey, girls, yes, it's true. I'm a woman now. Way to go, you sexy beast. Squeals. Oh, wow. So this is not my mother's pampered chef party. So a few minutes ago, Aunt Sadie was in the shower and her celly beeped. I picked it up and it was a text message from someone named Dilemma. Dilemma. Get it? The message was, Sadie, 5 p.m. good? So I typed back, 5 p.m. is great, but changed my mind about the dildos. Bring lots, all sizes. So now Emma's going to show up next Thursday with a humongous box of dildos. I love it. Talk about an awkward conversation. Can you imagine having to tell your dad that his wife's been whacking the liquor store guy's salami? Apart from the awful text messaging format of the author's books in this series, the characters in this book are laser focused on having sex. Not only that, they are praising each other for sex acts and glorifying having teen sex. Any positive messaging about friendships and dealing with the stress of senior year is completely lost. How is this presenting reality in a respectful way? How does this line of fiction fit in with the school district's view on abstinence? Isn't that what is taught in our county? Doesn't it make sense for the school district to maintain works in the media center that uphold what is taught? Which pillar of character counts does giving a great blowjob followed by swallowing the wad encapsulate?
Ms. Moore,
You all,
could you please wrap up if you could?
yes, ma'am. I'm just about to give my punchline. I will give you all, I'm sorry, let me read this last part. Which pillar of character counts does giving a great blowjob followed by swallowing the wad encapsulate? You all can discuss that point amongst yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Committee members, we will now begin our discussion utilizing the school library material evaluation checklist. Florida statute states that any materials used in a classroom, made available in a school or classroom library, or included on a reading list may be objected to for 4 specific reasons. Reason number 1, the material is pornographic or prohibited under Section 847.012 of Florida statute. Reason number 2, the material depicts or describes sexual conduct as defined in 847.001(19) of Florida statute. Reason number 3, the material is not suited to student needs and their ability to comprehend the material. Or reason number 4, the material is inappropriate for a grade level and age group for which the material is used. If the majority of the committee determines that this material is pornographic or prohibited under section 847.012, that would be reason number 1, then the material must be removed. For the remaining 3 reasons, the committee will determine if there is an appropriate grade level or if the material should be removed. Keep in mind that our final task on the form is to make a recommendation to Superintendent Forson, and we have 2 options: retain the book for a designated level or remove the book from all St. Johns County School District libraries. Again, statute is clear that we must remove the title if there is a majority of the committee who feels there is a violation of question number 4. The floor will be open to discussion, and each committee member will have the opportunity to share. Comments will be summarized to provide an overall committee response for each question. Please raise your hand anytime that you would like to provide a comment. For our meeting today, both agreeable and opposing viewpoints are welcome. Let's begin. Question number 1. The objecting party's challenge of the material cites that, and for this question, we will actually take exactly the words that Mrs. Moore provided on her objection form, where she states that she is objecting to the material due to drugs, alcohol, profanity, racial slurs, teen sex, references to chatting with adults online, and adult drunkenness. So we will make sure that that is placed right in there for question number 1. For question number 2, this is to verify for Mr. Forson when he reviews our summary. It's just to show him that the members of the committee were able to review the materials that were cited by the objecting party. So if you were able to review the materials that were cited by the objecting party, please vote yes at this time. If you were unable to do that, please vote no.
Ms. Sapp, we have 7 yes votes for question number 2. You may now remove your vote.
Okay, we'll move on to question number 3. This is similar to question number 2 in that your vote will serve as confirmation that you were able to review the professional or crowdsourced reviews that were provided. So at this time, please vote yes if you did review the professional or crowdsourced reviews. Vote no if you did not.
Ms. Sapp, for question 3, we have 7 yes votes. You may now remove your vote.
Okay, for question number 4, is the material pornographic or prohibited under Florida Statute 847.012? Is there anyone who would like to make a comment before we vote? Is the material pornographic or prohibited under Florida Statute 847.012? Go ahead, Kelly.
Hello. I just wanted to point out that that the section 847.012 has 3 sections. So like even if people feel that one of the 3 sections might meet the criteria I don't feel that it meets all 3. Like it's not appealing to a prurient, shameful, or morbid interest. And it's not without serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value for minors. So that's something to take into consideration when you're voting. And also just the definition of pornographic in general. You know, this is something you can buy at a bookstore, not something that, you're having to go and get shipped to you in a black envelope or, get in, a different way. Like you can get it at a library, you can get it at a bookstore.
Thank you, Kelly. Okay, seeing no additional hands, we'll go ahead with our vote. Is the material pornographic or prohibited under Florida Statute 847.012?
Ms. Sapp, we have 7 no votes for question number 4. You may now remove your vote.
Okay, question number 5, and we'll also allow for comment before voting on this one. Question number 5 states, does the material depict or describe sexual conduct defined in Florida Statute 847.001(19)? Please raise your hand if anyone would like to make a comment before we vote. Okay, I don't see any hands, so we'll go ahead with our vote. Does the material depict or describe sexual conduct defined in Florida Statute 847.001(19)? Everyone go ahead and vote for question number 5. Does the material depict or describe sexual conduct defined in Florida Statute 847.001(19)?
Ms. Sapp, for question number 5, we have 7 no votes. You may now remove your vote.
Just to keep in mind, again, with question number 6, if there's anyone who wants to make a comment, we'll do that before we vote. Question number 6, is the material unsuited to student needs and their ability to comprehend the material presented? Seeing no hands, we'll go ahead with the vote. Is the material unsuited to student needs and their ability to comprehend the material presented?
Ms. Sapp, for question 6, we have 7 no votes. You may now remove your vote.
Hey, before approaching question 7, can someone from the media services team please tell us for which grade level is this material currently available in our libraries?
Hello, this material is currently available in high school library collections.
So this material is currently available to students in grade 9 through 12 in our high school library collections. So now we'll address question number 7. Please indicate again if you'd like to make a comment that you raise your hand. Is the material inappropriate for the grade level and age group for which the material is used? Don't see any hands, so we'll go ahead with the vote. Is the material inappropriate for the grade level and age group for which the material is used?
Ms. Sapp, for question 7, we have 7 no votes. You may now remove your vote.
Okay, that concludes our questions. It's now time for us to indicate our recommendation to the superintendent. So we need to indicate for which level we want to recommend that we make this book available.
Ms. Sapp, we have 1 more vote that needs to be removed. Thank you.
Is there a member of the committee who would like to make a recommendation, state a recommendation for consideration? Oh, go ahead, Kelly.
I recommend that we keep it in the age level that it has now, 9 through 12.
Okay. Thank you, Kelly. I'm not sure whose hand was up next, so
Miss
Dr.
Kunza's hand was up, but it looks like she lowered it. Miss Million would be next.
go ahead, Miss Millian.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
I recommend that we keep it. This book was published over a decade ago, and the material in there is suitable for the kids that are reading it. It is high school. It is dealing with the last 3 months of senior year, and it is very, very relevant to what our kids do and see and talk about every single day. So I say that we keep it for grades 9 through 12.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and move forward with a vote by the committee that our recommendation to Superintendent Forson will be the material is appropriate for grades 9 and up. Please vote. The material is appropriate for grades 9 and up. You'll vote yes if you support that recommendation.
Miss Sapp, we have 7 yes votes for keeping the book in grades 9 and up. You may now remove your vote.
Are there, you can raise your hand if you have any other comment that you'd like included on the recommendation to the superintendent. Okay, seeing none, thank you to all of our committee members for your participation today. There are 2 final action steps to conclude our work. Number 1, your acknowledgement as a participant on the committee is needed on the recommendation of Mr. Forson. The recommendation, which includes notes from today's discussion, will be emailed to you. You may acknowledge participation by responding with an email, or you may review and sign the document in person at our Media Services office at 10 Hildreth in St. Augustine. The second item that we need you to do is to return your book and any notes from your work to prepare for this meeting, and you can return those items to the location where you picked up your book. Are there any questions before we close the meeting? This concludes the meeting. Thank you.